Hi guys!
So this is the toll road here in Albania, and we're heading north up to Montenegro. We just flew in. It was about an hour and 15-minute flight. Like I said, maybe already, it was maybe 90 euros round trip from Rome to Tirana, the capital of Albania. And now we're driving about an hour and a half up to the border with Montenegro. Very nice road. 2 euros to be on the toll road. Hey guys, it's Brad.
And Ollie.
And welcome to Albania. We were actually in Albania about 7 months ago. We had a great time in Tirana, but we didn't even have a car. We never left the capital. Today we're on the shores of Lake Skodra. And the names are a little hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
And we had a really wonderful time last night. We stayed at a lakefront place. We had a King's Suite overlooking the water with a big terrace. I'll try to put a quick little bit of video of it right here. Huge storm last night, amazing. Yeah. Power went out, amazing violent storm last night. Yep. But as you can see, the rainbows are coming out. We are on our way to Montenegro. We decided to fly nonstop from Rome to Tirana because it's a lot less expensive than trying to fly to Montenegro directly, which from anywhere in Italy, you have to fly out of Italy, make a connection. It was about 600 euros. And we flew from Rome to Tirana for 79 euros round trip on Ryanair with all the ups and extras, and would you like to be in the plane and not on the wing, all that stuff. It was less than 300 euros for both of us with baggage, sitting in decent seats. So we got here, we rented a car, the rental car, 300 euros for 7 days, and that included 100% coverage on the car and also our cross-border fee, because we're taking an Albanian car into Montenegro. The only thing we have left to do is get a proof of insurance certificate at the border, which is 15 euros. Are you getting rained on too much?
Yes, a little
bit. She's gonna take off because I have some more stuff to tell you. Go, get in the car.
Ciao, guys.
Okay, now that the riffraff has walked away, I can tell you guys, the reason I wanted to come to Montenegro was not just to show my lovely wife a good time. We had planned to come up here before she had her medical incident at the beginning of October, but I am looking at plans B and C. What are those? Well, we still haven't gotten our residency cards renewed. It's all kind of a pain, and we're paying a lot of taxes in Italy. We pay a lot. That's fine. We get a lot of services. We're very happy living there. We're very thankful to live in Italy. But it is a lot of taxes, up to 43%. In Montenegro, it's only 15%. We are looking at, would it be worthwhile to either B, take our residency in Montenegro and then go into Italy whenever we wanted to, or C, not have residency in either country, take a very strong international health insurance through like Allianz or Cigna, and just spend those times but never really register anywhere. My preference would actually be to have a home base that's strong and then visit another country. So that's why we're going. And I thought, why not bring you guys along with us? So we are gonna go up through Montenegro. We're gonna take the coastal road. We're gonna stop and have a nice seafood lunch. And then we're gonna get to Kotor Bay. And in Kotor, we're gonna stay for 3 nights right on the water again. It was only like 55 euros for a beautiful place. Now it is November, and the next 4 days are supposed to be very nice weather. This storm is about done. It's getting rained out and leaving. So let's get up to Montenegro. We got to pass the border, and then let's go see if maybe Montenegro is a place where you guys might want to base yourself, or at the very least, if you're looking to leave whatever country you're in right now, you can leave tomorrow, and you can come stay for 90 days in Montenegro, and then go to Italy for 90 days, and then go back to Montenegro or Albania for 90 days, and really get a feel for where you want to be before you dive completely in. I can't film any closer to this because I don't want to be filming the border station. But anyway, you get the idea. It's not a very big border. The line's moving pretty fast. May take us 10 minutes to get through. And then we have to buy our green card, 15 euros, so that our insurance is valid in Montenegro since we're in an Albanian car. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Coming downhill to the Adriatic. Hey guys, well, we've been driving for about 2 hours now. We're well into Montenegro. We're only about 1 hour more from Kotor Bay, which is where we're going to be staying tonight. And we're just south of Budva, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm not looking at the map. So the roads are fine coming in here. They're a little windy. The roads are in good shape. There's no potholes, that kind of stuff. And it looks like they're doing a lot of building. I had heard that Montenegro is really blowing up. It would have been nice 10 years ago to buy something, but here we are today. And I find that I think we made a good choice flying into Tirana and driving our way up here. Now, we could have just flown in and not stayed somewhere last night and driven straight through, but I'm glad we did decide to stop and check out the northern part of Albania, and had a great time, great dinner. And now we're going to be moving into the Bay of Kotor, and we'll see what that's like up there. But so far, so good. And if you can see behind me, the beaches around Budva are very famous, and they, especially in the summertime, of course, now things are very quiet. If you look, I've stopped at a big cafe, and of course, there's no one out here. There's a good wind. It's not cold. There's a good wind going, but I would imagine in summer season, this place is just packed. All right, let's get on the road again. Morning, guys, and welcome to Kotor Bay. So there's basically three main areas in Montenegro where you might think about living. There's the coastal strip that goes from here all the way south down to the border with Albania. We're very close to the border to the north with Croatia. You could also live in the capital city, and then of course you could live here in Kotor Bay, which is beautiful. And with the exception of perhaps Albania, I can't think of a place I've been to recently that is booming more than this area. I see maybe every fifth or sixth house on this peninsula where I'm at. I am in Tivat, and every fifth house here is under renovation. Now, I came here to Montenegro, as I said earlier, because I wanted to get an idea, just in case if things went south with my residency in Italy, a place that Olivia and I could bounce to. A lot of people want to try using the 90-day bounce. That is, you can stay in a lot of countries like Montenegro, like Italy, for 90 days out of every 180 days. You don't have to stay for 90. You can stay for a month and leave outside the Shenzhen zone, come back for a month, come back for 2 months, for 3 months. The only caveat is you can never be in that area more than 90 days out of every 180 days. Now, one country around here that's a little different from that is Albania. In Albania right now, you can still stay for up to 1 year without getting a visa. And that's very important, especially if you really feel the need to just get out of town to leave whatever home country you're coming for right away. Now, let's talk a little bit about what you need to come to Montenegro full-time and get a residency visa here. I think you're going to be surprised because I know Italy and its requirements pretty much inside and out at this point. I can tell you that Montenegro is a lot easier, at least on paper. Before you come into Montenegro and want to apply for a residency permit allowing you to stay full-time, you don't have to do a whole lot. You can arrive here on your 90-day tourist visa. It's a visa on arrival, a VOA. And you come in and you make your presence known, you register your address, and you turn in your application for residency. That differs greatly from Italy, where first you have to get a visa beforehand. I got the ERV, or the elective residency visa, basically a retirement visa. I don't need to work, other than this, and I can show that I have funds to live here. So you come into Montenegro, and what do you need beforehand? Well, before you arrive, you do need to get from your home country a statement from your police force, your national police, the FBI, whoever it is, that shows you have a clean criminal background. Once you get here, you register your location where you're staying at. It could be a hotel, it could be an Airbnb, and you apply. Once you do that, you are basically legally in the country until they either reject or approve your residency. Normally that takes about 45 to 60 days. That is very different from Italy. Ours took 400 days, almost to the day, from when we arrived in the country to when we had our permiso de soggiorno, our residency card. Another big difference between Montenegro and Italy is that Montenegro has a much lower threshold for what they expect you to have in passive income if you were going to use the pension option for a residency card here. From what I've read online, and you always double check everything I say and everything anybody says on YouTube, from what I've read online, it's around 1,500 euros per month. And the euro is their denomination here now. That is what they use for currency here. You can expect Montenegro to join the EU as a full-fledged member sometime in the next 3 to 5 years. And of course, you're going to need to have health insurance that covers your stay here. They don't want you just showing up in their hospital, sucking up all their resources. And you're going to need to have your travel document from your home country that's valid for at least 1 year of your arrival here. But all in all, these are very, very simplified versions of what we went through in Italy. Now, we've been staying here in Kotor Bay, which I'll throw some video in right here. It's starting to look a lot like Monaco, at least where we're staying in Tivat, near the yacht club. And it's beautiful, the views otherworldly here. But not all of Montenegro is like that. You can live out in country areas and it's still super reasonable. And even here on the bay, on the other side, you can find a nice home with a pool for around 400,000 to 500,000 euros. In general, apartments and things here run about 2,000 to 4,000 euros per square meter, or roughly 200 to 400 US dollars per square foot. If you're not sure where you want to live in Italy, if you're still thinking that Italy is the place for me, and I understand that, I like Italy. I would actually choose Italy over Montenegro, mainly for location. In Italy, if I want to be in the French Alps, I can be there in my car in 6 hours. I can be on an island very quickly. I can be in Sardinia or Corsica, and there's 6 or 7 different airports I can drive to within 2.5, 3 hours from my home in southern Tuscany and fly pretty much anywhere in the world. So Italy has a lot going for it. But if you're not sure where you want to be in Italy, instead of doing the 90-day bounce back to, say, the United States or Canada, this would certainly be a beautiful place to come and cool your heels for the 90 days that you need to be out of Italy before you go back in. And while you're in Italy, pick different areas, because maybe you don't know if you want to be in Tuscany or Umbria or Sicily. I have people that write me and say, we're trying to decide between Torino in the north, or maybe Sicily. Well, that is 2 totally different animals. So hopefully they're going to try living in both beforehand. I highly recommend that anybody come to Montenegro, if only for a vacation. It is still super reasonable. We had a beautiful king suite with a living room, and this is literally our view out of our living room. It was phenomenal. The food is phenomenal. And of course, there's history here that dates back millennia. It's just such a neat place to be. So book your trip to Montenegro. Come and check this out. And you may find that this is either a good substitute for moving to Italy or a good 50-50 place to be while you're looking around Italy, if that's still where you want to be, or it's just a really nice place to come and visit. Now let's talk really quickly about how you get to Montenegro. Of course, you can fly into the capital city, but I could not find any flights from Italy nonstop to Montenegro. So Olivia and I decided to fly into Albania. There's lots of flights and it's very cheap. They're nonstop from Rome via Ryanair or Wizz Air. They run about 100 euros round trip, and it's only a 1-hour flight time. From there, we just rented a car at the airport and drove up here. It's about 4 to 5 hours, depending on border control and construction. I mentioned already, they are doing a lot of infrastructure upgrades here. There's a coastal road that goes down from Kotor Bay all the way down to Budva, all the way down. And between here and Budva, they're widening it into either 4 or 6 lanes. It's hard to tell. It's such a massive project. And it goes on for about 40 kilometers. You could also drive from Italy here to Montenegro. That takes about 12 to 14 hours, again, depending on the different borders that you're going to be passing and how long the lines are. But it's a nice drive. It's very safe roads. It's very safe countries to drive through. Your final option coming from Italy would be to take ferries. I'm not a big fan of ferries. I've taken ferries for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. If you were to take, say, from my home, a ferry to get here, I would have to drive over to the coast, wait for the ferry, get on the ferry, have a 4 to 8 hour crossing depending on what part of Italy I cross from, and then getting off the ferry with the car and getting here. All that's going to take about 12 to 14 hours. That's about the same amount of time as driving, and you don't have the cost of the ferry and the wait time. From Tuscany, we can drive up to just north of Venice, spend the night, and then the next day take about another 8 hour drive. So it'd be about 6 plus 8 and get here. And it would just cost us basically an overnight hotel and the gas. Or in the summertime, we could drive straight through. I don't like driving in new areas in the dark. I would not drive here in Montenegro or Albania at night. It is just a little too rough on the roads right now, mainly because of all the construction and improvements they're doing. Hey guys, it's Brad. We wanted to invite you to tell your story on Brad's World. Nothing is more helpful to people that are thinking about moving to Italy, about totally changing their lives, than hearing stories from real people like you. If you've already bought, or you're just renting in Italy and you're staying here long term, or maybe if you're just looking for a house and going through that process, we would love to meet up with you and tell your story. There's no better way to help other people and pay it forward than reaching out to other people that are doing what you're doing. Just write me at bradsworld8@gmail.com, and we hope to hook up with you soon here in Italy. Ciao. Well, guys, it's time for us to go home. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, living here full time, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down. You'd rather live in Italy?
Yes.
I think partly because you're already there, you already have a friend network, et cetera, et cetera. But thumbs down on living here full time.
Yes.
And I would have to say that too, compared to Italy. I'd rather live there. I think you're going to find it's a lot easier to get residency here by a long shot than what we've been going through. We did just get a text while we were here in Montenegro, finally after more than a year, that our new residency cards are available for pickup in 2 weeks. And that's very good news. I think there was some miscommunication problems on their part, frankly, because after almost a year, through a lawyer, we found out that they wanted to see some financial documents that they had never asked for. We were there in person and they never asked for it. So, but anyway, I think you'll find that moving to Montenegro is a lot easier. Remember that you can move to Albania and you don't need a visa for the first year that you're there. Then you can actually leave and come back and you wouldn't need one again. But if you're going to be somewhere for a long time, you really should get your residency. You need to get on a healthcare system, et cetera, et cetera. So the 90-day bounce, could you do it coming here?
Yeah, I could.
If we had to leave Italy, if our residency had been revoked, could you have moved here part-time?
Yes.
I think so too. I think the trick would be having a nice place that you didn't feel too touristy and too isolated.
Yes.
But I think I could absolutely live here part-time. Another nice thing about moving here and getting your residency here is they do a driver's license exchange. So if you're worried about getting your driver's license in Italy, because if you don't speak fluent Italian as of right now, they don't give the test in English, you're going to have a very hard time passing that test. If you move here, you can do an exchange of a driver's license. So you get your residency in usually 60 days or less. You don't have to test for a driver's license. You can exchange it. It is absolutely phenomenally beautiful here.
Yes.
I think maybe part of our issue is we're already in love with Italy. We're very grateful to live in Italy. And
we know the language.
We know the language, yeah. Learning Serbian seems like it would be very difficult.
But no.
You think Italian's hard. Wait till you try to speak even a few words of Serbian. I think a lot of that is involved in our decision. So,
yes.
Anyway, but we do love it here. And if you really want easy, go south to Albania. Albania, you can live there for a year without putting in any sort of paperwork. I think maybe you should register with the local police, let them know you're there, but you don't have to get a visa or anything. You can work there. You don't have to file taxes. You don't need to get a license, I don't believe, if you're only going to be there as a tourist on the 1-year visa on arrival. So lots and lots of choices. If you're ready to get out, you can get out now. All right, guys, well, it's time for us to drive back to Tirana, and we're actually staying in Shkoder tonight, right on the Albania-Montenegro border. We're staying at a beautiful spa hotel that I think was 60 euros.
Wow.
Yeah, for the night. It's you just can't believe it. Our place on the lake was also 60 euros all in, included breakfast, and we had a lakefront terrace room overlooking Lake Shkodar, right?
Kodra.
Shkodra, that's right. Lake
Shkodra.
Shkodra. And had witnessed to a huge storm. It was all phenomenal. It was a great trip. Cost us less than 1,000 euros for 5 days, and I'm very happy we made it. And I'm very happy that our residency cards are apparently ready. And we're looking forward to going home and moving into our new big apartment in Montepulciano. We'll be showing you guys that, all right? Take care. Ciao.
Ciao, guys, and please subscribe.